Hi,
Hello,
I'm Pant Squirrel.
and I'm the cybernetic pig, and this is the Godpunks.
Warning: this show is not fit for human consumption. It may contain foul language, gratuitous violence, ugly sex, intergalactic drug use, and crippling existential dread. And orgies. There may be orgies. Children, please exit the building. This show is not for you.
Last time on the Godpunks, the human, Nini Torres, had a multi-century-long cross-universe toward affair with a capricious and powerful party-loving demigod named Frank Godman. Back on Earth, things progressed the way they usually do, forward, and with a fairly clumsy limp. Lucy, former party girl and goddess of the underworld, or Hell, found herself faced with impending war and began to plan for it with a trip to the outer dimensions to meet with her publicist. Unfortunately, her ride home, a solar flare, was interrupted by an intrepid hacker who did not want to see her town, and maybe her country, scorched out of existence. But that's the Godpunks for you. Always ridiculous, never safe. In which the dirty baby doll head is not important, but Nini Torres is. The woman sitting directly to the left of Nini Torres is knitting. They are sitting in a circle in the damp basement of the Starlight Unitarian Ultramarine Cataclysmic Church of the Second Coming of the Second Ford. The man sitting to her right, the one sobbing, has his hands in his lap, fingers twitching. Everyone else in the circle of folding chairs, everyone except sobbing guy, has a thing for their sad hands to hold. 2 sets of knitting needles, 3 cell phones, a purse, a rattling keychain, a burger, and a dirty baby doll head. Everyone. The room is plain, small, with orange carpet that smells of years and years and years and years of hopelessness and coffee, and there are 12 sad sacks sharing their stories. So the back of Nini's chair rubs the wall, making a little scratching noise when she fidgets. No one seems bothered by, or even particularly interested in the wet noises coming from sobbing guy. Even when he adds a bit of a high-pitched whine, responses are limited. Perhaps old knitter picks up pace, a bit of aggressive purling. Perhaps the octogenarian with the baby doll head rubs his fingers against the nose the tiniest bit less delicately. But honestly, it's hard to tell. Nini isn't sure if this ignoring is a politeness, callousness, or sheer force of will. After attending 7 meetings of the Lonely Hearts Looking for Healing self-help group, she wonders if she will ever figure out the source of the other people's abilities to just not hear him. Keys is talking right now. It is the first time Nini has heard Keys at one of the meetings, and she is fully uninterested. Still, she reminds herself, look at Keys. Looking is just like listening, and they are all supposed to be listening to Keys. And when Keys finishes blah, blah, blahing, it will be Nini's chance to talk, and all this listening will be worth it. She was so beautiful, the woman says, rattling her fob. The macrame owl on it seems to wink. Nini has taken so many Dave shrooms over the years that she is never not tripping a little. If Frank Godman were here... No, she will not think like that. If Frank were here, Nini would have no need to be. She would not be a lonely heart looking for healing. She would not be just like the little moon Frank condensed 1,000 million times over and then gave her, clutched in her lap. Nini learned about the meetings from her neighbor, Stupid, who is part of the Starlight Church congregation that owns the building that the Lonely Hearts Looking for Healing uses for their meetings. Of course, Stupid, who Nini did not name, thank you very much, was trying to get her into AA. But he seems as happy with her going to one meeting as the other.
At least you're stinking up 2 places now, honey,
he says to her every time he gives her a ride. Stupid is one of the only humans Nini has much of a taste for these days. Well, since Frank, really. Of course, Stupid is not actually a human, but Nini does not know this. She is trying, though. She smiles at Old Knitter when they reach the snack table together. Old Knitter nods.
My name is Alice,
OK says. Her voice is bitter. She is taken to reminding Nini of her name each time they speak. Nini thinks this is because she does not actually like being called Old Knitter. But it may just be a new quirk. The first 50 years with Frank, Nini was basically just like any other human party girl. She liked other humans, mostly. The ones who did not hurt her, at least. But time moved on. She didn't age, but she changed. Maybe it was the drugs. Or Frank's pheromones. Or just living life in galactic mega space-time while everyone else she'd ever known pre-Frank was aging and spinning around on Earth and having babies and getting cybernetic surgeries and dying of everything from old age to police action to robot riot to shark attack. And now it was hard to call Alice, a name she clearly did not match. Still, Nini promised herself she'd try. Alice Knitter, she said, smiling and handing OK a sugar packet. Of course I know your name, honey. OK did not look pleased, but Nini did not notice and felt she'd done very well, all things considered. She ate a lemon cookie with great satisfaction and waited until it was time to return to their seats. Then it'd be her turn to talk, and she could stop looking and listening and do the bits she liked. Stupid was a handsome man, Nini expected, by Earth's small city standards at least. He had 2 of the things Earthlings tended to have 2 of, and 10 of those they tended to have 10 of, and a very exciting extra one of those things most Earthlings didn't even manage to grow. Of course, this is because Stupid is not an Earthling, but he is close, so everything else is basically the same. His coloration is fairly plain, but that is regrettably normal for Nini's species. Most impressively, he is almost exactly the same amount phosphorus as he is calcium, thanks to an exciting genetic fluke combined with a terrible diet. It is one of the things about him that Nini cannot get enough of. And while Nini is not sexually attracted to him, a good thing, as she was pretty sure he was interested in a different set of human characteristics than she was born with, she did find him yummy to look at.
How was the meeting?
Before Nini could answer, a body fell on Stupid. If he'd been human, Stupid would be dead, but he wasn't, so instead he was very badly squished. The body had fallen from a great height. It stood up, looked around, wiped its bruised hands on its goat-like haunches, flicked its long, beautiful hair from its violet eyes, picked its bent librarian glasses from Stupid's flattened head. I know you, it said, straightening the glasses. You know Frank. Something had gone terribly wrong on Lucy's ride down from the sun. Some sort of countermeasure, some sort of force field had stopped the solar flare the way a brick wall stops a Pinto, fully and explosively. Lucy was thrown and bounced through the Earth's atmosphere this way and that, and now her ass hurt, and she was in no mood for coincidences. And this was a coincidence, because as it happened, after meeting with Sherman, unable to get a hold of Corpse Bottom, she'd had to planet hop a little herself, looking for one Frank Godman. Nini was not Frank. Nini was a sad-looking human with too much glitter and not enough clothes. I'm in no mood for coincidences, she said firmly to the girl who was both very, very old and very, very young all at once. Still, I'm sorry about this. Then she punched Nini in the face and threw her over her shoulder and kicked Stupid a little for good measure. The little moon Nini had been holding dribbled from her unconscious hand and pinged next to Stupid's very, 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 very flat, squished eye, so that he was the only one who saw it expand just a tiny, tiny bit.
Say it one more time.
Black.